Okay, going to make this video for all the people who asked about putting the wheels, modifying the wheels on my 175. It's not the greatest, and I definitely don't recommend you do it the way I did it. You can if you want to, but there's a lot better ways that you can figure out to do this or take it to a welder. But anyway, as you could see in the diagram here, here's my 175. It had one single hole right there, the original hole, and it had the 3-inch wheel set. And the bar just went through that hole to the other side, and it had little clips that held the wheels in place. Well, you couldn't get it upstairs at all. So what I did was, with this situation, I got a 4-inch bracket, and it looked like that. And I think I got it at Ace Hardware. It's a metal bracket with two, I think, half-inch holes. I'm not sure exactly, but anyway, I knew it would bolt onto here. So it had to be put on at an angle, because if you put it on straight, then you could only fit the 3-inch wheel for the distance that you need, because this is not a wheels down unit, it's a wheels up. Otherwise, if you did put it on there straight, you would have to get a riser so that the wheels would be off the ground. So I put it in at an angle, so attach the bracket, and I just put a bolt in there, and that was fine. The second hole is going to be for the wheels. But I originally put it all together and found out that this, when you hit stairs or something, because this, you can tighten it as much as you want, but it'll move up and down based on force. So that started to move. One went up, one went down. It was a pain in the butt. So I said, okay, I need to make sure there's no movement in the bracket. So to prevent the movement, what I did was I drilled a hole right there in my unit and through the bracket. So I got a metal, I think it's called a titanium drill bit, and I just, real simple, straight through. On the back side of the machine, it's just open there. And then I secured it with a bolt. So I went ahead and threw a bolt in there. Put the nut on the other side. And now you can see, since it's not just a circular, it's not going to move at all because it's being supported by that bolt. Okay? I'm going to show you the rest here in a minute. So the original hole, the wheels, you take them off. You don't need the bar. And then 4-inch bracket, you mount it, drill the hole to secure and prevent movement. And then you add the wheels, my 10-inch wheel. And the bolt on the other side, these bolts, you can't just use an all thread or a regular bolt. I tried it all. I mean, you can, but it scores up the inside of the wheel and you get movement. So these bolts are made, I think they're in the lawnmower section, to put a wheel onto a lawnmower. And it has this smooth surface, and then the threaded part here is smaller than this. If it's all the same size, when you bolt it, the wheel's not going to move because the tension's going to go on the wheel. So that's the reason that they have this little piece oversized. And then this is smaller, so you can run that bolt. When the bolt bottoms out, it bottoms out on this part. And then the wheel spins freely. And then this just shows, once the wheels are attached, this is the back side of the machine. Just imagine the machine's here. excuse me, I ended up having some movement, you know, going either direction. Like the wheels would flex out, you know, and you'd have kind of this situation going on, or they would flex in and you'd have this situation going on. It was hard to move it, you know, because it's just on a metal bracket. So in order to prevent the movement, what I did, since I knew it would move, I just kind of pressed them out. I just took two hands and I pulled it either directions to separate it. And I had my wife take it, you know, you measure this distance. It was about 7.5 inches. So I thought, well, I'll cut a piece of PVC pipe to eight inches so that it's not exact same, but so that it puts pressure. I pulled the wheels apart and my wife just pressed the pipe, the holes over the bolts. And then I let go of the wheels, and obviously the pipe is going to be pressed up against the wheels and the bolts on the inside. So it's not going to slip out, and then you're not going to get any of the flex or the movement on your wheels, because this will prevent it. So I hope that answers how I did it. It's a little complicated, and I guess it depends on the machine, how big of a bracket you need. Measure the depth of your machine. You might need, if you're putting a bigger wheel on, you want to make sure that it's off the ground. You might need a 6-inch bracket. So do your measurements, but there you go. It's all laid out. Original hole, original wheels. Add the bracket, attach the bracket, prevent the movement with a additional hole going through, and then add your wheels and put a support in there. So that's my way of doing it. It works great. You see my videos, but it's not the best way. I think you could probably find, Oxy Dry. Robin has a YouTube channel. It's called Oxy Dry. I think it's OXY-DRI. I'm not sure, but I'll put a link to his YouTube page so that you could see. He has a Rotary, and he had a bracket, I think, made. And the bracket that he had made is, I mean, it's kind of, I think it's like this. And it goes across, and then it has the mounting holes. And anyway, it was welded on there, and it's really, really professional. No movement. Probably a lot easier to do than this, but if you want to copy my idea, that's how I did it. And it took phases. Like I did different sized wheels, and the 10-inch wheels are the absolute best for getting up and down stairs, because the size of the riser on a staircase is, if you look at your typical stairs, this section right here is the riser, how high it goes up from each step. And I researched it, and the average contractor or the architect says it's 9 inches. So your height's 9 inches. So if you have a 8-inch wheel, you're kind of small. But if you have a 10-inch wheel, you put the wheel in there, and already all you have to do is just tip it back. Whoops. When you tip it back, it's already on the next step. So you just push the handle down and slide it in. Push the handle and slide it down. So much easier. So much easier to get that wheel up and down. So there you go. Again, I did this video in response to, actually, another person asked today. They texted me very nicely, and I thought, well, it's so hard to explain, maybe I'll just do a video. So this one's for you and for all the other people that asked. And I hope it helps, but I definitely recommend finding an easier solution. And if you do, maybe make a video on it. Have a great day.